Thank you so much for volunteering to participate in lead sampling in the city. You're going to help us characterize the extent of problems that could be happening in your house as well as across the city. So we really appreciate it, and your help is very valuable. Everything you're going to need to do the sampling is the sampling kit box that you received, a pen, and some sort of timing device. So let's see how it's going to go. The first thing that you need to do is to unpack the lead sampling kit by just opening up the box and removing the contents. You'll have 3 sampling bottles and an instruction sheet. Everything in the box is labeled with the same number, as you can see on the exterior of the box, on the instruction kit, and each bottle individually. So after you've unpacked everything, the first thing that you should do is to read all the instructions very carefully and fill out the information of your name, your address, and then your contact information so we can make sure to get you your results after we've analyzed them. After you've thoroughly read all the instructions and filled out the information on the instruction sheet, you can then unpack the 3 sampling bottles from the package by just removing them from the plastic bag here. Now you're ready to begin sampling. And the most important aspect is that the water has not been used in your entire house for at least the last 6 hours. The easiest way to do this is to sample first thing in the morning, right after you've woken up. So you can go ahead and remove all 3 caps from your sampling bottles. And when you go to sample, it's really important that you sample at full flow from your kitchen sink, as if you were filling up a pitcher of water. You'll start with the largest bottle first, and you'll collect the full first liter that comes out of your tap. And so when you do that, you want to make sure you place the bottle under there before you open the tap. And before you open the tap, make sure that you take note of the time so that you can time 45 seconds between the first sample and the second sample. So let's go ahead and begin. I'll turn the tap on full bore and let that first liter fill up. When it's done, I'll take note of the time and set the bottle aside and let the tap run for 45 seconds. Now that it's been running for 45 seconds, I'll take the second bottle and fill it all the way up at the same flow rate, not altering the flow at all, by just sticking it underneath the faucet. When this bottle is full, I'll remove it and set it aside and start my timer for another 2 minutes. Now that the water's been running for a full 2 minutes, I'll collect the last and smallest sample by sticking the bottle underneath the faucet again and letting the bottle fill up, and then I'll set that aside. Now that we've collected all 3 bottles, we can go ahead and turn the tap off and place the caps onto all 3 of our bottles. Now that we've collected and capped our bottles, it's time to repackage them to send them back. And before we do that, we just want to make sure that we firmly tightened all the tops to our bottles. It's a little tricky to get all 3 bottles back into the bag, and so the way that you do this is to put the largest bottle in first, the medium-sized bottle next to it, and then the small bottle needs to lay on top of the medium-sized bottle. You can then seal the bag, and place the entire thing into the box that they came in. And we want to make sure that we use the same box with the same label that they came in. Then, don't forget to place your information sheet and instruction sheet back into the box with all of your information on it. And then you can go ahead and close the box and reseal it with a piece of tape. Now that your box is repackaged, be sure to return it to. If you have any questions at all about this process, don't hesitate to call. Thank you again so much for your participation in our efforts.